This is an exciting time for motorsports enthusiasts in Alberta. We've been waiting for a long time for a new track to be constructed near the Calgary area. As Rocky Mountain Motorsports Park approaches completion, my eagerness to drive on the track is growing rapidly. I'm sure many other people are feeling the same. And this got me thinking, what if RMM could be raced on virtually by anybody in a racing sim anywhere in the world at any time? The rise of popularity of sim racing over the last year, especially with restrictions, is what brought me onto this thought. And that brings me to the point of this video. I want to build a track to be used in a racing simulator, Assetto Corsa in particular, which is arguably the most popular racing sim on the market. Earlier this year, I built a virtual version of our province's only other major road course racing venue, which is of course Castro Raceway. I built it for Assetto Corsa as well, and it actually ended up being a far bigger success than I ever expected it to be. I even got messages from a racing team that was using it in preparation for a 3-hour endurance race that they raced in just a couple weekends ago. What you're seeing on screen behind me right now is me building one of the former proposed layouts for Rocky Mountain Motorsports Park. I'm doing this as sort of an example of some basic track creation for Assetto Corsa. This isn't the most advanced method for track creation for Assetto Corsa, but it does produce some pretty good results in a fairly short period of time. So the program I'm using, Racetrack Builder, it uses Google's API data for satellite images and for its altitude information. If I were building a pre-existing track like I did for Castro Raceway, I could simply trace over the satellite image of the track map and then use the altitude information from Google, and I'd get enough information to create a serviceable version of the track. And for this old layout of Rocky Mountain Motorsports Park, the old proposed layout, I was able to superimpose the track map over top of the satellite images to create a rough example just for demonstration purposes here. But for the real world Rocky Mountain Motorsports Park, I'd like the track altitude data to be accurate, and well, the geography has changed a little bit now. So Google's API data is no longer up to date. The solution to this is to record GPS route data into a CSV file. I can do this with a simple phone app. What this app does, it pings my location at a set interval, creating a map, which I can later import into the program, which then creates a route with all the hills and dips that the real world track has. With that map, after that, I can manually edit the track width, the track profile, the camber, the banking of all the corners individually. As far as the hills and berms surrounding the track go, it's less critical for them to be GPS accurate. I can edit them manually to visually match what the real world looks like. So, what am I asking of you? Well, I'm not an RMM member. I'd love to be, but it's just not attainable for my budget. So, what I would like to have is your permission to either drive on the track myself, or even if an RMM member would allow me to ride as a passenger with them while we do a few slow laps around the center of the track, recording GPS data, and also I'd like to record some video just for visual reference for constructing the track later on. So what would be the benefit of having a virtual track? Well, personally, I think it's a valuable asset to have a virtual version of any racetrack, especially for this one here in Canada, where of course our winters are quite long, our racing season is fairly short and limited, so being able to drive it in the off season would be pretty great. And even for people that are maybe coming from outside of the province or even outside of the country to come experience the track, if they wanted to drive the track virtually before even coming here, just to get themselves familiar, so that way when they're here they already kind of know the flow of the track, and then probably even have a more enjoyable time at the track at that point without having to learn it on site at the time. Anyway, so this is something that we can arrange. If something you'd like to work with me on, please get a hold of me. This is my email address on screen here. I'll also have it in the description down below if that's easier for you. Now, if you're still watching, I'd like to take you for a bit of a tour at race speeds of this old proposed version of Rocky Mountain Motorsports, the version that will never exist, unfortunately, because it is actually quite a fun layout. Alright, we're approaching the front straight of the old proposed layout of Rocky Mountain Motorsports Park. I'm running it in the clockwise fashion. I don't know if that was the intended rotation of the track, but seemed to flow the best to me. Alright, we're on the front straight. Up over the crest, headed north. And it's a hard brake zone into turn 1. Heading past the pit exits as we take a
bit of a drop around this right-hand corner to go parallel to the 581 highway, heading east now. Couple quick sweeping corners. A short straight section before braking hard into one of the tighter corners of the track, this right-hand hairpin. I added a little bit of a banking to this corner, thinking it suited it well. As the Audi runs wide, try to watch out for him. Another tight, snaky left-right section. Challenging braking zone before the next hairpin, before the fastest section of the track as we head back south towards the coulee. That's flat out over the hills. Right, then left. Over the crest. And a quick jab on the brakes, leaving room for the car on the inside as we go flat out. Around the corner, getting a quick glimpse of the QE2 as we come back uphill into a blind right-hand corner. Don't want to brake too late. To the left is what was going to be that RCMP training facility. For a few more tight corners and then a tight chicane before heading back onto the front straightaway.
Alright, well, thanks for checking out the video. Hopefully this is a project that you'd be willing to work on me with. If it is, please get a hold of me. Like I said, the email's in the description down below. I look forward to potentially building Rocky Mountain Motorsports Park to be driven in Assetto Corsa. I think it'll be a fantastic thing to have. Okay, thanks again. Talk to you later.